Tommy with Elevation Every Weekend. Welcome back to the channel. I have some new ideas for this channel as we move into 2025. A primary focus on this channel over the last few years has been fat biking, and that is going to continue into the new year. But I have been experiencing a gradual transition and change into my outlook on fat biking and my cycling preferences in general. And it starts with what is in this box right here. But before I reveal that, comment down below what you think this bike is. And as a side note, I will be talking soon about how I see my interest in bikes and cycling in general change as we get into 2025. And that's really the result of a lot of experimentation I've done and bikes I've ridden over the last few years, having shaped what I want to do for 2025. So without further ado, here's what's in the box. So yes, it is another ice cream truck frame. It's the current and recently released model in the warm cheese color, which I actually really like a lot. If you have previously watched my channel at all, you probably have seen I have a Prickly Pear 2020 ice cream truck that's been heavily featured on this channel. And yes, that bike is still very much in action. So the question is, why do I have another ice cream truck frame? Well, as time has gone on and I've ridden a variety of other fat bikes and frame materials, I've gradually transitioned the 2020 Prickly Pear ice cream truck to being my max capability backcountry snow bike. And here in the mountains of Colorado, you can definitely challenge a bike's limits. So in doing so, I've added a dropper seat post to the 2020 ICT, which really is a critical modification for riding in difficult and variable snow conditions. I've also added max volume and max traction 26 by 5 inch tires to the 2020 ICT. And in addition, I will typically also run a rear rack on the bike. And that's really just to facilitate me bringing my snowshoes with me, which can be a big help in backcountry conditions, especially when things are less than ideal. So as a result of all of these modifications, my 2020 ICT really has become a very heavy bike. And while it has proven to be the most capable backcountry fat bike I've ever ridden, the way the bike is currently configured does make it less fun in the dirt, which is primarily due to the weight, which without the rear rack on is probably at about 36 pounds right now, and also due to the higher rotating mass of the tires and the rolling resistance. So with this new ICT frame, I'm going to do a much lighter performance-oriented build on it, especially keeping dirt riding in mind, but with the intent of it still remaining highly capable in the snow. And because this frame is exactly the same as my 2020 model, I think it'll be a fun and interesting way to do a head-to-head comparison on two distinct build concepts. When I got my Prickly Pear bike back in the end of 2019, I felt like it was an exceptionally fun and versatile bike in stock form. So I wanted to see if a build that doesn't limit, that in fact enhances the performance and attributes of the ICT frame, shows it to still be a worthy contender in the fat bike arena 5 years later. And if you're sitting there wondering how and why I view performance and capability as two different things, even though they may be related, I did do a deep dive video on the concept, so check that out if you'd like to know more. So really soon here, I'll be sharing more details as to what I plan to build this bike up with, and then we'll get it out in the dirt first, and then of course try it in some snow. And I'll certainly be using it to do some head-to-head comparison and contrast with my 2020 variant. So subscribe now if you want to stay tuned and follow along with this build. And tap that like button too if you're glad to see another steel frame bike on the channel. So lots of fun stuff coming soon, so stay tuned. Thanks a lot and have a great day.